Hello everyone and welcome to A Slice of My Life. This is my follow-up review of the LoopHole spinner by Premium Spinners. I had to spend a little bit more time with the LoopHole spinner because it is my first ring spinner before I could give you guys my proper thoughts. Now, I brought this all the way out to Shenzhen, China, and I had it with me on my EDC. In fact, I had it with me on my finger for most of the time that I spent there. Now, I spent about 4 days in Shenzhen, China, came back and spent another 1.5 weeks with the LoopHole on my finger, and I'm going to say that I think I really understand why ring spinners are so fun now simply because of this. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. If you notice, I've also tried out other ring spinners. I've actually managed to review the FIDGETSPINNER air ring spinner, thanks to Roy for that. And I've also managed to try out a steel flame ring spinner. Yeah, I tried out the steel flame ring spinner. Oh yeah, not forgetting that I tried out the Phenom ring spinner as well. So yeah, guys, I've tried a total of about 4 different ring spinners. Now, the Phenom ring spinner is way larger in terms of the inner diameter as compared to the LoopHole spinner. But for the air ring spin and the steel flame, they are both narrower. So those two actually sit here. Now, from what I gather, I think most people prefer their ring spinners to be sitting about this part of your hand. Jong-un, that I met up with, was telling me that he liked a spinner that would sit exactly almost at his knuckle and be snug there. But for me, I actually prefer my spinner to be all the way up here. Now, this position is a very comfortable one for me on my hand. And that's because I was actually able to DJ with no problems the entire time with this ring spinner on my finger all the way. But let's say, for example, if it's the air ring spinner, it would be right here and it would slip off easily. So, you know, it's very subjective, I suppose. Now, to be fair, I guess everyone is going to want something different from a ring spinner. That's because all our hand sizes are all different. Now, I also let my other friends try out the LoopHole spinner, and I realized that I am the only one to be able to have the LoopHole sitting right here, snugly. See? And also, it just works for both my hands, and I'm able to actually squeeze it past my knuckle here and get it on my thumb like this. And this is even more snug. The only part that is a little bit troublesome to get past is this joint over here, but with some coaxing, I'm able to get it out, and it's not that bad. For some people, once they get it stuck, they're gonna have to use soap and water and get it out, or some method like that. But for me, it's just like almost perfect. So this is really something else. But I know it's really personal. This is something else for me. And I understand that the fit of the ring spinner really plays a huge part whether or not you're gonna like it. So, to be fair and to be honest, I really like the LoopHole spinner versus the other ring spinners that I've tried simply because of the way it fits on my hand. So this is a very personal thing. And I had it on me, like I said, for at least 2 weeks. 4 days in Shenzhen, China, and another 1.5 weeks back home. I got the T4. Now, from my understanding, there is a T0, a T8, and a T12 version of the LoopHole spinner. That T actually stands for the number of teeth, if you look at it like as if it's a gear. So this is a T4 version of the LoopHole spinner. Now, since we're talking about the teeth, personally, I feel that these cuts here on the sides a little bit deep. Now, let me explain that in more detail. I really love the female knurling, first of all. I think this is really comfortable. But I was thinking that this might be a little bit too smooth. Yes, it offers some kind of a grip, but I don't know how well it will grip when I actually have the ring spinner on my finger and spinning like this. So I thought, these were gonna help. But over extended time, I realized that it started to hurt. Now, to be fair, right, when I talk about extended times, I'm talking about like me having the ring spinner on me for like 8 hours straight and just doing this the entire day. So I'm just fidgeting with it left and right like this, exactly like this. And because I was DJing, I realized that I started doing it to the beat quite a lot, and it was really fun. And then after a while, and I'm talking about 2-3 hours in, these cuts were actually causing me a little bit discomfort on the underside of my middle finger. Now, with that said, I'm actually aiming to get myself a T12 LoopHole, and that's because the cuts on the T12 are slightly more shallow than this. Even if I'm able to score a T12, I don't know if the female knurling will be available. I heard that they have been discontinued, but they might come back in the future. But right now, most of the LoopHoles are going to feature male knurls. Nonetheless, though, I really enjoy my LoopHole spinner, and I realized that I almost never used it with the buttons. It's always on my hand, just like that, and it's super fun because it just doesn't get in the way. Now, since we're talking about the buttons, I'm going to address something that someone left in the comments of my initial thoughts video, and I'm talking to you, just me again. Yeah, it's about you and your comment. Now, I don't understand why you had to get so emotional and so angsty in that comment, but anyway, just for the sake of everyone, basically, just me again wasn't too happy in his comment regarding these 3 nicks in the button. Okay? As I mentioned, that was a first impressions video. Even if I spent 10 minutes or half an hour okay, or maybe even an hour. It is still a first impressions video because I didn't spend 2-3 days with the spinner. It's just right straight out of the box and I'm just trying it immediately and telling you about it. That was my first impressions. So I'm not gonna change my format just because you are mentioning that spending 10 minutes with a spinner should not be a first impressions. I don't care. But for what you said about these nicks on the buttons, just relax, man, just relax. Because like I mentioned, since the first impressions video till now, who's to say that I did not reach out to Alex, right? I mean, come on, think about it. Alex would have watched the video as well, because it is about his product, don't you think? So, just to update everyone, I spoke to Alex about this and he's gotten back to me and said that right now, the buttons have been changed out to a new style which is more like a slug, like a press fit with O-rings, I think, and it's called the core. I think some of you have already seen it. And newer batches of the LoopHole spinners actually come with that particular core instead of these buttons. So Alex told me that he'll be sending me a core as a replacement for this, and he apologized for these nicks even though those of you who are familiar with stonewashing know that it is almost impossible to prevent bigger nicks like this, okay? So hope that matter is resolved, and just me again, I hope that you will just relax and just enjoy the video instead of getting so emotional and so angsty, okay? So yes, Alex is going to send me a core and it's a very nice gesture of him. He didn't have to do so because I wasn't unhappy about this. I just asked him about it, that's all. But it is a very, very nice thing that he's going to do it. So guys, on to my final verdict. $53.99. For that price, you get such a crazy spinner. My gosh, guys. Now I know that Fabian from Spin Space made a review on his LoopHole spinner as well, and he said it is $53 that you're going to want to spend. And I have to agree. I do not regret this purchase at all. At first I was really skeptical, but I was thinking, you know, stainless steel ring spinner? Oh, come on, I gotta try it out because I don't know anything about this ring spinner thing. But who knew it was gonna be such a perfect fit for me? And this is really just a huge plus point for me. So I just want you guys to know that it is very subjective, but I really love this LoopHole. Now, to be fair, other people that I let my LoopHole spinner to all provided positive response, so that is a good thing. Also, don't forget to check out Dave's World because Dave also reviewed his own LoopHole spinner, but he put a little twist on it. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. I want you guys to go check it out. Alright, so links in the video description below. The LoopHole spinner, like I mentioned, is really, really sought after, and because of that, in order to fulfill the demand, Alex has turned to timed drops on the Premium Spinners website. So in order for you to know when the next drop is going to be, please, I implore you, go join their Facebook group. All the latest information about the LoopHole, including developments and drop times, will all be there in that group. And that's including using Damascus steel for the core, for example, or laser etching on the LoopHole spinner, things like that. It's really cool what Alex is actually doing with the LoopHole spinner right now, and it's just getting better and better and better with each day. So like I mentioned, guys, I'm gunning for a T12 in stainless steel, but so far, if you're gonna have this on your finger for like an hour or so, I think it's gonna be fine. Just don't be like me and put it on my finger for like 8 hours straight per day. I mean, if you want to, there's no stopping you. For all you know, because of differences in our hand sizes, you might not even feel any discomfort whatsoever. Now for me, I don't feel discomfort right now, but once I get into like the second hour of fidgeting with it on my finger, that's when I'll start to feel this part actually getting a little bit sore. Like literally sore. It's not like rough skin or anything. I just feel sore, like it's like a slight bruise kind of feeling. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm getting actually about a minute spin time with this particular LoopHole spinner, but I've heard people actually getting about 4 or 5 minutes. So I might look at trying to clean out the bearings, I'm not so sure. Also, one thing that I misrepresented in my other video was that these are actually shielded. Now, Alex actually swapped from de-shielded to shielded bearings. That's because, you know, it's on your finger all the time and it's an open bearing kind of a style. So having the shields on is actually to help out with trying to keep the bearing as clean as possible. But you can easily remove the shields if you want to. Just, you know, get a pin under there, that little C-ring, and then just slowly pry it out. Yep. So that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and links in the video description below as always. I hope that I provided enough information for you to decide whether or not the LoopHole spinner is a spinner for you. This is one of the best things that I bought with $53.99. I kid you not, I really enjoy it. And I'm actually seriously considering making this part of my EDC, like EDC, you know, every day without change, the way I have my Hyperstone on me all the time. This might be with me all the time, I don't know. The only thing that's funny is when I actually have it on my hand and I reach out to shake someone else's hand, or if I want to give a fist bump, then it's a little bit strange, but it really looks cool. Now look at that, it's not overly flashy, it's not too big, and you know, I mean, the fact that you guys can see that I can put it all the way in here, that's what she said, also speaks quite a lot about my hand size. I don't really have very large hands, but slightly bigger than average Asian sized hands. So yeah, I'll catch you all in the next slice of my life. Bye everyone, bye.